A reality check with the Dogs and the Vols. Matt Ryan tells us how to beat the Panthers, and Jamal Anderson is in the house.
Today's show is being brought to you by the Southeast Nissan dealers, Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers, and Volvo Cars of Marietta. Welcome to football's Play to Win with Falcons All-Pro defensive end Chuck Smith, Falcons All-Pro offensive tackle Bob Whitfield, Fantasy Football League Master Adam Brown, Game Analysis with Nikki Williams, Play to Win expert Jeffrey the Ed Schechter, Medical and Injury Update with Dr. Andrew Lalage, and your host, Atlanta sports legend Bob Neal. Today's SEC College Report is being brought to you by the Southeast Nissan dealers. Choose Nissan.com.
Okay, we start with Tennessee and their first true road game. Let's find out what Butch Jones thinks about it.
When you go on the road, it's completely different. You're responsible for creating your own momentum. Just about the entire stadium's against you. We're playing a very, very talented football team, a very physical football team, and we will be challenged like we've not been challenged to date.
All right, so with that challenge, I ask you, how good can they be?
Well, anytime you go into hostile territory, you want to have a leader. What leaders do, Bob, they give their teammates hope. That's what Joshua Dobbs gives the Vols. When your top player is the toughest guy on your team and he's the supreme leader, he can win on the road. That's what the Dogs have to do. They have to get after Dobbs and try to rattle him.
All right, how can Georgia get fixed besides going after Dobbs?
Oh, well, obviously one thing you got to work on the defense. Clearly they're having issues defensively. Last week was a very, very tough game. But another thing for UGA, the running backs. You got one of the most talented pool of running backs in America, and they can't successfully run the ball, which means they cannot help out their true freshman stud quarterback. Georgia needs to run the ball better, certainly try to stop on defense to stop the effective Dobbs, and their outstanding running back for Tennessee as well. But I expect a tough game.
All right, let's take a look at the entire SEC schedule for this week. And Nikki, as we take a look, this is the first page, Florida at Vanderbilt, Tennessee at Georgia, we mentioned. And on the second page of this, I want you to particularly comment about that Mizzou-LSU game.
Well, LSU's got the edge, but everyone is still kind of reeling from firing Les Miles, and I personally didn't get it. And actually, Nick Saban, who doesn't usually come out and make statements on situations like this, said he doesn't get it either. He said, I hate to see a guy that's won a national championship and 2 SEC titles not even be able to finish a season. And one man's trash, because the Penn State fans took to Twitter begging for Les Miles to come to Penn State. Some guy even started a change.org petition to get Les Miles over at Penn.
Let's talk about some difference makers. Who do you think in the league?
Oh, man, I'm telling you right now, he's from Atlanta. Yep. His name is Arden. I got the keys. Key at LSU. 6'6", outside linebacker. He leads the SEC in sacks right now with 6.5. He's projected next year to be possibly the #1 pick. He's special. He's a stud, and he's been unstoppable so far this year.
Okay, you were a difference maker. Who do you pick today?
I like to think so. I'm going to keep it on the offensive side of the ball, and another true freshman quarterback for Alabama in Jalen Hurts. He's been outstanding for them. And if Alabama's going to have a chance, which of course they're going to at the end of the year to win another championship, look for Jalen Hurts to key that offense.
All right, that's our SEC report. We have a lot more to come.
Today's Showdown of the Week is being brought to you by the Georgia Lottery, where every jackpot is a good jackpot.
All right, let's look at some of the top national games. Of course, I always look down for the Michigan Wolverines in Ann Arbor hosting Wisconsin. That's going to be a tough one. Of course, as usual, I think Michigan will win the game. But probably the biggest game up on that board's down there at the bottom, Louisville and Clemson. And, Chuck, I know you like Deshaun Watson in that game.
Yeah, he's a fantastic quarterback, Bob. And the key for Deshaun Watson is don't try to do too much in this game. Let the game come to you. You want to get the ball and distribute it to all your weapons. But one thing about Deshaun Watson, some games he's been looking disinterested. Some games he's been motivated, and I think he'll be motivated playing against Louisville, and I think he is the key to a Clemson win.
Okay, so you like Watson, you like Lamar Jackson.
I do. I mean, listen, you can't go wrong with either one of these quarterbacks. And
True.
Although the game is in Death Valley, Saturday's life of the party, folks, is Lamar Jackson. He is the lead to the Heisman Trophy right now, the guy who may run away with the trophy, especially if he could win down in Death Valley, but he does everything. He's explosive, he's talented, he breaks tackles, he jumps over defenders. what can Lamar not do?
Well, let's see what he does this weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be
Put him on
fun.
the pedestal. Let's see what he does against Clemson.
It's going to be fun.
Clemson defense, I think, going to get after him.
Sounds a little bit like Jamal Anderson, breaking tackles, jumping over defenders.
Not around me, not when he was our scout team back. Don't forget, I used to put that hat on him when he was our scout team back too now. So.
Yeah, you want to defend yourself
that
on
was
that.
young Jamal. That was young Jamal, not Super Bowl Jamal.
I got pads in the car. Another block D. Me and Chuck gonna go at
I
it, baby.
see that as a segment on the show. Stay with us. Block D, going at it. They'll probably tear something, at their age now. But Jeffrey, who are you picking?
This is a great matchup. These are two great teams. Clemson started out a 2-point favorite. It's moved 4 points. I'm going to go with Louisville. It's tough to go against Clemson at Clemson. I just think Louisville's terrific.
You're on the bandwagon. Him and Jamal, he's bandwagon.
Exactly, bandwagon it. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. As you stay with us, we're all together. A lot of love in the room here today on Football's Play to Win.
Do you suffer from irritability, boredom, and chronic cravings? Mellow Mushroom's craft pizza, beer, and cocktails are clinically proven to improve your mood and leave you with a full belly. Mellow Mushroom is fast-acting, giving you relief when you need it the most. Side effects of Mellow Mushroom may include salivation, euphoria, and an insatiable craving for more Mellow Mushroom. Ask your doctor about Mellow Mushroom. She may want to come with you.
The time has come to meet the new face of Kino, Stefan and Kimchi.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Oh, so confident. Well, the only danger angle is this vaporizer beam.
Goodbye, James.
Nice work, Kevin.
Kevin, what do you think?
Live out your dreams. Win up to $100,000 300 times a day playing Keno.
Afoot and lighthearted, I take to the open road. Healthy, free, the world before me, the long brown path before me leading wherever I choose. The east and the west are mine. The north and the south are mine. All seems beautiful to me.
Lease the all-new 2017 Volvo S90 for only $499 per month at Volvo Cars of Marietta.
Today's NFL Report is being brought to you by Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Always the best deal, always.
All right, welcome back to the show, Play to Win. It's a good week in the National Football League. Jamal Anderson, one of the key games you're looking at.
Giants and Vikings. Although the Giants suffered a loss last week, I like them this week against the Vikings. I really do. Although the Vikings defense is outstanding, but it's going to be a great game.
All right, which game you like?
I like Seahawks at Jets.
Yeah.
Last week the Jets laid an egg. Seahawks kind of limping around a little bit. Russell Wilson. I like this vicious Jets defense to take care of Seattle in an upset and win in the Meadowlands.
All right, the Falcons and Panthers. We thought we'd go to somebody who would be very objective to give us a view on that, and that would, of course, be Falcons quarterback Matt Ryan.
They're one of the teams that every time you go against them, they're physical, they're prepared, and they don't make many mistakes. So, I mean, that's kind of the mindset that I have going into this week is we got to play our best football. And, I'm sure they'll come down here and be ready to play.
All right, Jamal, how about the Falcons offense?
Well, Bob, number one in total yards, number one in passing, number one in receiver yards, number one everywhere. And guess what? Devontae Freeman is balling. Give the ball to 2-4. Give the ball to 2-4. I like both Freeman and Coleman, but obviously Devontae Freeman is just a beast. I like the way both of those guys are playing, and the offense just needs to continue to roll.
All right, what do you like about the offense?
Well, you got kind of like the thrill of victory. I'm going to talk about the agony of defeat. Defense, 32nd in the league.
Whoa.
Just stop them 50% of the time. Try to beat up Cam Newton, slow him down. You got to do something to get after Cam Newton. The way you beat this Carolina team, you got to body bag Cam Newton and knock him around and make him feel the punishment and pain. That's it. Other than that, he's going to run wild on you if you don't touch him.
The difficult thing for the Falcons, Bob, is getting quarterback pressure.
Right.
You got to get in front of Cam.
Well, they got to send pressure. They can't keep depending on the four-man rush.
Right.
Dan Quinn, Richard Smith, the D coordinator, needs to send pressure. So I would rush forward and a lot of times send five, send one of my linebackers and try to knock Cam around a little bit.
That's what Minnesota did last week. They shut them down.
All right, Nikki, let's talk a little bit about the Panthers. They have some pregame activity going on.
Panther safety, Trey Boston is organizing a demonstration before the game. It should be something really great, kind of like what the Falcons and Saints did. Here's Cam Newton in his Martin Luther King shirt before the Vikings game. This is actually a great unity gesture that they're doing. So I'm excited to see what Trey Boston does. He said this will be something that will really just relay the message that they're trying to get out there with nothing being misconstrued. So this is going to be something really I'm excited about it. Charlotte, of course, the city with all of the unrest right now, just really showing unity.
Quickly, guys, how do you focus on playing when you've got issues that are bigger than the game? Just
your job is to play.
Right.
And if you take pride in your job, you'll come to play.
Right.
I just like to play.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you like football, like you said,
Right.
you just play.
That's your job
Plus,
on that day.
Plus, I like big checks too, though. Big checks coming, like Cornelius Bennett used to say.
Big check.
I like to run people over, and of course, I like to dance.
You do. I know it.
Unity. Kumbaya.
Okay. All right. While we do Kumbaya,
No.
I'm going to Jeffrey for the thing you need to know, and that's who's going to win the game. Jeffrey.
I don't think Carolina's gotten over their loss in the Super Bowl. They haven't looked good this year. They beat a bad San Francisco team. I like Atlanta with the 3. I think they're going to beat them and go to 3-1.
All right, Kumbaya. We'll be back with Kumbaya and even maybe some football talk when we. Yeah, Nikki is trouble. That's the problem. We'll be right back in just a moment, including Nikki.
It's Landmark's Ram Power Days Plus. We're giving you more than anyone, 500 Rams, 500 powerful deals. Plus, we're the exclusive home of the Upside Down Tent Event and Georgia's #1 Ram dealer. We have the most, we sell the most, so you save the most. Because we do deals the other guys just won't. Hurry to Landmark's Ram Power Days Plus.
Nobody beats Landmark. Nobody.
Is your air conditioner blowing hot air? We can fix that. Turn to the experts at Carrier and ST Services. We've been installing and repairing air conditioners in Atlanta for 66 years. Need cold air? We can fix that.
If you or a loved one has been seriously injured in an accident, don't drop the ball by letting the insurance company run all over you. I worked as an insurance lawyer for 10 years and I know their tactics and game plan. I'm Roger Orlando of the Orlando firm. Let our 30 years of experience tackle the insurance company for you. Our team will get you every dollar you deserve. So put the ball in our hands and we'll get your case across the goal line. Find us online at atlanta.law or call 678-LAW-FIRM.
Make no payments for 90 days. That's right. Now at Stone Mountain Toyota, pick out the Toyota you've been looking for and don't make a payment for 90 days. We've got the new 2017 Camry. Choose a new 2016 Corolla or new 2016 RAV4. Check out our complete inventory at StoneMountainToyota.com. We have the cars. We have the price. Now you don't make a payment for 90 days.
Stone Mountain Toyota, a great price, a great buying experience. Come in and have a cup of coffee with me today.
Is your air conditioner blowing hot air? We can fix that. Turn to the experts at Carrier and ST Services. We've been installing and repairing air conditioners in Atlanta for 66 years. Need cold air? We can fix that.
This week's Keys to Success is brought to you by Volvo Cars of Marietta, where you can always expect the best.
Then I thought against Vanderbilt, we started to put it together and play pretty good, and then last week was a train wreck. So, we'll see how we do this week.
All right, there he is, always optimistic, always with definitive things to say.
He needs a hug.
Did you see that Clemson game?
Yeah.
Maybe he does need more than a hug. All right, here's my question. I want to go to you for this, Jamal, and this is an offensive key. What is the offensive key for victory for Tech?
Timing. Yeah. Obviously, Georgia Tech, they run the ball. It's the Newt Rockne offense. Time of possession and the timing for the offense is going to be of critical importance. Controlling the line of scrimmage. Only 4 times in his career at Tech has Paul Johnson's offense been under 100 yards. Last week against Clemson was one of them. They need to bounce back bad if they have a chance against Miami.
How about the Miami side?
Well, it starts at quarterback, arguably the #1 pick in the draft, Brad Kaya. He's fantastic, and to me, this is really his game to lose. If he comes in and plays like he always plays, he's prolific in the pocket. He has great body control. He understands how to deliver the ball and has a great sense in the pocket. I think Brad Kaya is going to be dominant, and I think it's going to be a tough matchup for Georgia Tech secondary when he wants to throw the ball.
Nikki, we're going to talk about Mark Richt.
Well, yeah, because this is the wrong team for Tech to make a bounce back with it. Mark Richt, find a stronger word for experience. He has played Tech every single year since 1993, since back when he was a Florida State quarterback coach. He is 21-2 all-time over Tech, and he has never, ever lost a game at Bobby Dodd since he has been a coach in college football.
Wow.
Drop the mic.
Nuggets of knowledge. And speaking of knowledge, who are you picking?
Rick is in a great situation. Things got stale at Georgia. Miami's a tough team. Matter of fact, they're going to be there to play the winner of the other conference, Clemson, Florida State, and Louisville, the winner, is going to have to play Miami in the championship game, and they're going to cover the 7 against 10.
All right, that's it. That's how you need to look at that game.
Today's Hometown Team Report is brought to you by Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers, a higher order of pizza for your tailgating events.
Hey, Play to Win crew. I got to tell you, last Saturday was extremely disappointing, but not because of the fact that Georgia lost. I expected them to go to Ole Miss and face a Rebels team that was going to be able to beat them, out-talent them, especially with a freshman quarterback and the deficient recruiting classes left behind from Mark Richt in 2013 and 2014. What I didn't expect is that Georgia wouldn't be able to compete. And for 4 quarters last Saturday, they didn't compete. And that's what I'm looking for today against the Tennessee Volunteers. I'm not looking for a victory. I said it before the season began. If Kirby Smart wins every single game that Georgia is favored to win in 2016, I'll consider that season a success, especially with a freshman quarterback. What I won't consider a success is a Georgia team that loses games they're supposed to lose, but goes out and fails to compete. Kirby Smart's defense needs to up their game. And if Georgia can't run the football, how do you expect Jacob Eason to have any shot at all? I'm expecting a tight Georgia loss this afternoon between the hedges. Hope you guys have a great Saturday.
All right, Chuck, I want to know the X factor.
Yep. Well, the X factor, number one, is protection on both sides. Tennessee's offensive line, they're the keys to Joshua Dobbs having any success. And for Georgia, the offensive line is everything because they want to run the ball, and that's the only way they're going to be able to compete against a tough ball defensive front.
Okay, so you got the inside analysts here, and now we're going to get the pick over there with Jeffrey.
Last week, Georgia went from number 12 in the country to number 9 in the SEC. That's if they're lucky. This is a mismatch. I'm not impressed with Georgia. Tennessee should cover the 3 very easily.
You guys have done a great job on the show today. So there's a reward, a surprise reward. Let's have Destiny with the pizza. Mellow Mushroom Pizza brought up along with the tumblers of beverages in here, your choice of beverage. And
yeah, these are our special edition tumblers that you can get in store with pizza purchase for $4.99, and they get you 99-cent refills for the rest of the year.
I want this
one. Okay, which one? You're on that one? You want the one right out of the... He takes it right out of the display unit. It doesn't matter because he's Chuck. All right, for Mellow Mushroom and for everybody else, I'm Bob Neal. This is Football's Play to Win. We're going to be eating some pizza right now.
Why can't I have a slice of yours?
You're a cartoon. You can only have cartoon pizza.
It's not fair.
Look, this pie is 100% real, and you're colored ink. It's physics, man.
Well, can you buy me a beer?
I can buy you a cartoon beer. Are you single?
It's right.
Everyone wants real Mellow Mushroom Pizza because our pies use premium meats and cheeses, fresh veggies, and spring water dough baked with wheat goodness. Mellow Mushroom, a higher order of pizza.
Afoot and lighthearted, I take to the open road. Healthy, free, the world before me, the long brown path before me leading wherever I choose. The east and the west are mine. The north and the south are mine. All seems beautiful to me.
Lease the all-new 2017 Volvo S90 for only $499 per month at Volvo Cars of Marietta.
We've owned a few different houses through the years. Your company was absolutely the best. They were so professional. Everything they didn't get a mark on a wall or anything else. It was clean, it was friendly, and it was fun. And most of the time, moving is not fun. I'm going to give a great recommendation to Atlanta Peach Movers. It's always on time and it's always professional. There is no tree in Atlanta Peach Movers.
To schedule your move, call Atlanta Peach Movers today.
Today's Fantasy Report is being brought to you by SD Services, serving all of Atlanta since 1949.
All right, it's time for fantasy football. If you notice kind of a smirk on the face of my buddy here, that's because you're happy about your job last week.
I had a really good week
last week. You were on it.
I was on it last week. I had Coleman, Marvin Jones, and Kobe Fleener last week. All had massive, massive weeks. But you know, bye week start this week, and we got to start making some changes to lineups.
Okay, and here's what I say. The pressure's now on for this week.
It is on for this week. Green Bay and Philly are on byes this week. Let's start with Drew Brees at the top. Number 2 fantasy quarterback in all of football. He's playing San Diego's defense that is so bad, giving up 300 yards to the air in all 3 games. Awful. Look at number 4 on the list, Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell is back from suspension. Kansas City's not good versus the run. Look for him to get a lot of touches and a lot of yards this week. And my guy at the bottom, LeGarrette Blount, believe in this guy.
Yeah.
He is on fire. 3 touchdowns in the first 3 games. I like him a lot.
Yeah. All right. How about the wide receivers and Alshon Jeffrey in that group?
Alshon Jeffrey and Larry Fitzgerald are great receivers. Right. But look at Terrell Pryor. He's the do-everything guy for the Cleveland Browns. He's the wild card. He's playing quarterback, running back, receiver. And last week he had 8 catches for 144 yards. The guy can do everything. I'd pick him up in your fantasy leagues and your season leagues. I'd definitely start him in your weekly leagues because he's cheap.
All right, how about sleeper?
My sleeper this week is C.J. Anderson from the Denver Broncos. Now, he's been quiet so far. He has 203 yards and 2 touchdowns, but look forward to him a nice week against a bad Tampa Bay defense. Tampa Bay has given up 101 points through 3 games. Look for him to have a nice day on the ground.
Mid-season form. You're in mid-season form. Listen to this man. He knows wherever he speaks, and we can prove it. This season, be sure to visit our website, playingtowin.tv, and take a shot to be number 1 by picking this week's college and NFL winners against the spread. We'll be giving away Ippolito's $100 and $50 gift certificates to each week's first and second place winners. So make sure you come back early and often. Prove your football IQ by being the best at predicting college and NFL games. We'll be back in a moment with more Football's Play to Win.
Today's show is being brought to you by Longhorn Steakhouse and the Georgia Lottery.
Is your air conditioner blowing hot air? We can fix that. Turn to the experts at Carrier and SD Services. We've been installing and repairing air conditioners in Atlanta for 66 years. Need cold air? We can fix that. Save energy and money with a dual fuel system from SD Services.
Announcing Landmark's Gotta Go Jeep Celebration Event. We're jammed with Jeeps and they gotta go. And we price them to make it happen. Only at Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat, the area's fastest growing Jeep dealership. How? Because we do deals the other guys just won't. 455 Jeeps. 455 Jeep Celebration Event deals.
Nobody beats Landmark. Nobody.
Thinning or balding hair? HRS can now reverse thinning hair by using stem cells through platelet-rich plasma treatments. Platelets are put directly into the follicle to stimulate growth. This is a safe and easy procedure with no downtime.
I decided to get a series of platelet-rich plasma treatments. Now I have my own growing hair back. The treatments were easy, painless, and I was able to return to work the same day with no downtime.
Call us at 404-231-3100. That's 404-231-3100.
Is your air conditioner blowing hot air? We can fix that. Turn to the experts at Carrier and SD Services. We've been installing and repairing air conditioners in Atlanta for 66 years. Need cold air? We can fix that.
Today's player injury and medical report is being brought to you by the Orlando Law Firm. Put a former insurance lawyer in your corner.
All right, Dr. A not here for our player medical report this week, but he left me fully prepared. So I'm going to pass along this information for key injuries and the status in the National Football League. And let's start first with Jimmy Garoppolo. He has an AC sprain to his right throwing shoulder, and LeGarrette Blount, no current injuries. So we're going to see a lot of LeGarrette Blount. Now, how about the Pats offensive line? Nate Solder, hamstring strains. You know, they are troublesome, so we'll keep an eye on that on the Pats offensive line. Now let's go to Minnesota. And Minnesota also has some difficulties. Sam Bradford, as you may recall, traded to the Vikings when Teddy Bridgewater was placed on IR. No recent injury concerns there. Jerick McKinnon does have some problems, injured toe, but he practiced full time, so I think he's going to be all right. Now, the Vikings offensive line, left tackle Matt Khalil out for the season, as you may know, with the torn labrum and hip. That's a big loss, but everybody else is healthy. They're playing okay despite nagging injuries this time of year. Everybody's got a few nagging injuries in the National Football League. So that's the look at the injuries and the status for that. And now we want to check our trivia question, and we have in for that today Jennifer Tull. Jennifer, what do you have for us?
I'm Jennifer Tull, representing Harrison High School. Today's trivia question of the day is, when was the last time the UGA football team lost a game by 31 points or more? Is it A, 1967, B, 2011, C, 2003, or D, 1973?
Wow, okay, lost by 31 or more. She'll be right back with the answer to that when we come back on Football's Play to Win.
In football, as in the legal system, it helps to know your opponent. I'm Roger Orlando, and I used to work for the insurance companies. I've seen their playbook, and I know their game plan. If you've been hurt in an auto accident, call me at 678 Law Firm.
You never know when the moment will strike, and when it does, you want to be ready. Mellow Mushroom's craft pizza, beer, and cocktails can help you enjoy a more satisfying eating experience. Mellow Mushroom is safe for daily use. If you find yourself sitting in a Mellow Mushroom for more than 4 hours, you may want to go home and come back another day. Mellow Mushroom is not for everyone. Just kidding, it is. Ask your doctor about Mellow Mushroom. He may want to come with you.
The time has come to meet the new face of Kilo, Stefan and Kimchi.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Oh, so confident. Well, the only danger angle is this vaporizer beam.
Goodbye, James. Nice work, Kevin.
Kevin, what do you think? Live out your dreams. Win up to $100,000 300 times a day playing Keno.
If you've been seriously injured in an accident, don't get blindsided by the insurance company. I'm Roger Orlando, and I built a winning team to run interference against the insurance companies and get your case across the goal line. Call me at 678 Law Firm.
Today's lightning round is brought to you by Longhorn Steakhouse, now featuring great American steak dinner. Longhorn Steakhouse, you can't fake steak.
Okay, let's get our trivia question answer with Jennifer Tull.
When was the last time the UGA football team lost a game by 31 points or more? Was B, in 2011 against LSU in the SEC Championship. The Dogs lost 42-10.
All right, there's the answer. That's a very attractive way to get the answer. Thank you, Jennifer. That's better than I do. It was a beatdown, as a matter of fact.
I bet you LSU felt better about Les Miles then than now.
Speaking of Jeffrey and his smart aleck remarks, how about your picks?
Undefeated Wake Forest plays North Carolina State. North Carolina State shouldn't be an 11-point favorite over anyone. Take the 11. Everybody likes Wisconsin, including Jamal. Michigan's going to give him a beatdown. Give the 10 with Michigan. And I like Minnesota with Penn State. Penn State doesn't really have that much. Take the 3 with Minnesota. Pros. Oakland to Baltimore. That should be a good game, but I like Oakland with the points. Take the 3.5. NFC South, maybe not as good as conferences we all thought they were, but I do like Tampa against Denver taking the 3. And I think this is a steal. Dallas 2.5 over Frisco. Frisco's got nothing. And Prescott is terrific.
All right, read him and count on him. The man knows whereof he speaks. It's Jeffrey, Jamal, Nikki, Chuck, and Bob. We thank you for watching Football's Play to Win. See you next week.
Today's show has been brought to you by Volvo Cars of Marietta, Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers, and the Southeast Nissan Dealers.